Bangladesh has made a decision in some ways, a foolish decision, to copycat Pakistan, and therefore a fate like Pakistan could await it. What's happening with the minorities in Bangladesh? There is no perception and no hope that a rule of law will apply to those situations.
Bangladesh government has failed to take prompt action. Now this is a matter of regret. The red corner notice may issue or may not issue. But even if it issues, it's not going to make any big difference.
See, the comments of Bangladesh about India, I think, are totally uncalled for, are totally irrelevant. And what they portray is that Bangladesh has made a decision in some ways, a foolish decision, to copycat Pakistan, and therefore a fate like Pakistan could await it. Pakistan is never concerned about what's happening inside its own country, addressing those problems: poverty, hunger, electricity, economy, and even domestic violence, domestic within the country, right? And issues of terrorism. Bangladesh is facing the same things. In fact, even worse. If they do not pay attention to what's happening inside their country and just try and score brownie points, that, a tit for tat kind of a thing, you said this to us, we'll say this, then Bangladesh is totally missing the plot for its own future. That is one. Secondly, India is a nation of law. There's a rule of law. So, whatever happens in India, the due course of law will go ahead and the guilty will be punished. Whereas Bangladesh, from what we are seeing, and that has been our pain, acute pain in India, that we are seeing that what's happening with the minorities in Bangladesh, there is no perception and no hope that a rule of law will apply to those situations. So these are two, it's like comparing apples and oranges, one. And secondly, Bangladesh is doing a disservice to itself. The leadership should really do introspection and decide how to salvage their nation rather than pinpricking India.
India had to respond publicly, because what is happening in Bangladesh is that, and let me make it very clear, I do not believe that the Bangladesh government or any government anywhere can control the action of all individuals. But when such despicable actions take place, it is for the government to take prompt action. Now in this case, as far as I have been able to learn from the news channels, Bangladesh government has failed to take prompt action. Now this is a matter of regret. It is happening with the government's connivance. I wouldn't say that. We don't have the proof. But if the government doesn't take prompt action, then an impression might be created that there is connivance of the government.
So on the other hand, to issue a red corner notice against Sheikh Hasina, and Bangladesh is alleging that Sheikh Hasina sitting in some other country is disturbing the peace in Bangladesh.
2 points. The red corner notice may issue or may not issue. But even if it issues, it's not going to make any big difference. Because the question whether India should continue to give permission to Sheikh Hasina to stay in India or not, that is a question which cannot be answered without looking at the big picture. And what's the big picture? The big picture is Indo-Bangladesh relations. And it is clear, both to Bangladesh and to India, that it is in the interest of both to de-escalate and to restore good neighborly relations. It is hurting Bangladesh and it's also hurting India. So it is necessary for good diplomacy to step in and, de-escalation and restoration of bilateral relations. You see, that is very necessary. Now, if you want to do that, public statements do not help. Let me give you one instance. When interim chief advisor Yunus said the other day that the 7 states in northeast India are landlocked and Bangladesh is the guardian of the maritime space. Now, was it necessary to say that? It was unnecessary. And did it promote Bangladesh's interest? No. India imposed certain restrictions. So everyone has to be careful while making public statements. And I would say that applies to both Bangladesh and to India.